Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Lorna Schumann with the Illinois State Museum. And today we're going to talk a little bit about one of the 6 habitats that are in Illinois. Yes, Illinois has 6 habitats, mainly because it's such a big state. Now, what do you think a habitat is? It's a place where animals live. It's a place that has food, water, shelter for the animals, but it also has lots of plants. And today we're going to actually talk about the farmland, cropland, or agricultural land habitat. I know you probably didn't think of that as a habitat, but it is. And each of these places have their own unique characteristics or things that are common in the habitat. So as you notice behind me, we have this picture of a farmland. So take a moment, look at it, and what do you notice? Did you notice that there seems to be mainly only one plant, the thing that we call the crop or the food? In this case, it's corn, but you'll also notice that there's some grass here in the front, and maybe off to the side there might be some trees. So sometimes you'll see other parts of it, but for the most part, it's all one type of plant growing in that area. And that's really what helps to attract other animals. So, do you see any animals in here? I see some in front of us, which we'll get to in a little bit. But what do you think might live here in a farmland? We're going to spend some time today with Dr. Meredith Mahoney. She's a scientist who studies animals here at the Illinois State Museum, and she's going to help us learn a little bit more about the animals in our habitat. Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Lorna.
You know, we've been talking about habitats, and this time we're actually focusing on farmland or crops. Could you tell us a little bit about the animals that we might find in our farmland or crops habitat?
Sure, I can definitely do that. So cropland habitats attract animals that are there to take advantage of it as a source of food. So when you have crops being grown, you'll wind up with seeds, corn, or other grains laying on the ground. And so animals that are taking advantage of that are going to move into the area. So for example, we have deer mice, and they and other little rodents are big seed eaters, and so they are going to be very numerous around agricultural areas. Geese, like Canada geese and snow geese, other ducks, are also really good at finding those fields and eating the loose grain that's there, so the flocks will come as a whole group and pick over any of the loose grain that they find on the ground at these farms. Another animal that comes to eat any kind of food are raccoons. They're really good at figuring out the types of food to eat in all sorts of different places, so we'll find them around farms. In addition to the animals that eat the grains are other animals that eat the animals that eat the grains. So we have predators like this rat snake who eats small rodents like the deer mice. So whenever you get lots of little rodents, you'll also get reptiles like snakes that eat them. Other types of predators you might find are coyotes or hawks and owls that all would specialize on eating the small rodents that are going to be numerous around a farm.
So Meredith, thanks a lot. I learned a lot about some of the animals that live here, but you also said that they live in some other habitats too.
Oh, sure.
So can animals live in multiple habitats?
Definitely. It depends on their ability to find the types of food and places to sleep and hang out as well, but some animals are very good at living in many different habitats.
Wonderful. So would any of these animals originally would have been in another habitat?
Oh, sure. Raccoons actually are more of a forest habitat species, but like I said, they're really adaptable, so they find places to live in other types of habitat that people have created by modification. Geese as well are more wetland species, but they have figured out where the food is in the agricultural habitats, and then and some urban habitats as well. So some of the animals that figure out new kinds of habitats to eat in are going to pop up in more than one habitat.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Meredith. I hope you learned a lot today too as we explored our farmland habitat. Thanks a lot. Take care.